Okay, guys. So for this session, what we're going to be doing is building the riddle part of Sonia, where she tells us a riddle. So to do this, I'll get rid of this print statement. To do this, we have to now call declare another method. We'll call this riddle. We're passing our self parameter, which is an instance of the class. And then we want to have the user name. We want to access the username so that we can call the name of the user anytime. And before we do this, I'll just put pass here for now. And then we are we're going to declare um, a variable inside of this our initialization. So whenever this class is being called, it's going to initialize that variable for us. So this variable is just to take care of our riddles logic. So in here we'll say self dot riddles riddles underscore correct correctly. So we initialize this to 0. So this is basically a variable that we just declared here that is going to, we're going to use this to be storing the amount of questions, the amount of riddle that we get correctly. Remember, how does Sonia know that, okay, we answered 4 correctly and then we failed 2? This is the process of getting this done. So we're going to initialize this variable first because any question we get correctly, we're going to add 1 to this variable. If we get on the second question correctly, we'll add 2 to this variable, right? And then the next thing we need to initialize is our riddles data, like the whole questions where, remember, this is just a bare-bone AI. So you have to feed it data so it knows what to say at a particular point in time. So we are going to feed Sonia a list of riddles. She's going to be a list, right? Now, a list, like I said previously, a list can contain different amount of data types. It can contain objects, contain strings, integers, booleans, and tuples. So in here, so I'm just going to copy a piece of all the riddles inside of here from the internet. I basically got this from the internet. So these riddles now, I got this from a website, from a riddles website where you just go there and there you could just be reading riddles and then you can get your answer. Check it um when you tell uh your friend a riddle and then if the riddle is correct, you just check the answer they just stated there. So I just had to just copy the text and then so that I'm just put it here. So this is an object. Sorry, this is a dictionary. Now we have one, two, three, four, five dictionaries inside of the list, and each dictionary is having a key of riddle, and then it has a value, right? This is the value of this key, which is the riddle. And after this, the whole of this, we have another key value here, which is the answer to this riddle. And inside of the value for this key here, we have teapot. Now, these are two different items inside of this dictionary because it's separated by a comma. It's separated by comma. So we have two different items, one with the key riddle and the other with the key answer. So how do Sonia going to know that, okay, the the answer is correct? How Sonia is going to know that the answer is correct? It's basically she's going to check the answer of this particular riddle she asks you. So that's just one of the logic. So I'll just collapse this here, and then let's move on to our riddle method here. So now the first thing is we have to look through that riddle um, list we created. So I'm going to be doing something slightly different. For index, I'll explain. Access the riddle, you say self dot riddle and then the colon and then boom. Now what this for index does is that in enumerate, what this does is that enumerate is a function where we pass in an iterable, e.g. list, e.g. list. So we pass in a list inside of the enumerate function. Now what the enumerate function helps us to do with that, it helps us get the index. It helps us get the index of an item inside of an array. Remember, each array has an index of That is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, and index 5, right? That's what enumerate is going to help us do. Enumerate is going to help us get the index, and it also get us the individual items inside of these are the individual items inside of the array as well. So that was why I used enumerate and then passed in the self.reduce inside of it. So I'll just collab this to provide more space. Now the first thing we want to do is we want Sonia now to read the first riddle. Remember, this is a loop. The loop will start from index 0 and then move upwards the sequence until the whole list or the whole iterable is exhausted. That means we don't have any other thing to look through again. So we're going to call Sonia dot speak. Now she is going to call, say, the first riddle. So now we're passing the first item here, right? Riddle, and we're going to pass in the key of the riddle. So basically, we're saying, okay, look through the riddle lists, right? Get me the individual item, which is this guy, which is here, and then I want to have access to the key, which is this. Remember, when you access the key in a dictionary, you access the value. So we're accessing. This is what we're accessing. And to access that, we say riddle dot riddle here, this riddle, and then for us to access this value. So basically, what is inside of Sonia dot speak, Sonia dot speak is this. What's inside is this value here. And in order for us to target that value, we have to say riddle dot riddle, square brackets, and put the riddle inside of it. So that's it, right? And then the next thing is, remember what in the pictorial control flow, the next thing that happens is Sonia will be expecting an answer from us, right? And we were going to take this answer using the input field by saying enter answer, right? Right. And now let's just print this answer console terminal. So let's stop here and then run the code and see what we've done so far. I'll go back to my app.py and then I'll click this. So let me clean my code. App.py, run again.
Hello, I'm Sonia, your virtual companion. Here is a list of what I could do. What's your name?
Okay, so my name is Precious.
Nice to meet you, Precious. What would you have me do?
Um, tell me a riddle.
Here is a list of riddle. Please impress me by answering at least 4 riddles correctly.
Wow, you see that? So wow, something happened. She did not, this whole block of code didn't run. I expected her to tell us a riddle. What happened? Yeah, okay, yeah. So this was where our code stopped. She said, here is a list of riddle. Please impress me by get. So now we need to call this riddle. We need to call this method we just declared here. How do we do that? So inside of here, when we've checked, okay, the task the user wants us, Sonia to perform is a riddle. So when Sonia says this statement, the next thing that's going to happen, we will say self. She's going to call that she is going to do this herself. She's going to call it by herself, but we need to put it here so that it's either she or we say we are calling it anyways. Both phrases work, so I don't confuse you guys. So we say self.riddle, right? And we're going to pass in the name. Remember, this riddle takes in the name of the user that is actually playing the riddle with Sonia. So passing the name. Now this name is being gotten from here. From this name, we passed it in here, and then this function is going to receive this name here, right? So that's it. Let me save this and then go back, and hopefully this works as expected.
Hello, I'm Sonia, your virtual companion. Here is a list of what I could do. What's your name?
So my name is
Nice
Precious.
to meet you, Precious. What would you have me do?
Okay, I like you to tell me a riddle. Now, if you notice something like it doesn't have to be play a riddle. You can write anything you say, anything you want to say. But as far as Sonia sees this riddle, right? Remember, the whole of all of this is happening inside of our validate task. This is what is doing it. The minute she sees this riddle, and she will understand what you're trying to tell her to do. So I'll just click
Here is
enter.
a list of riddle. Please impress me by answering at least 4 riddles correctly. What word begins with a T, ends with a T, and has a T in it?
And then she just told us the riddle, which was basically this line that just ran. And then the next thing is asking us the answer. And then we could say teapot, right? And then
Princess Mother has 3 children. Their names are Prince, Tom. What's the name of the third child?
so I'll execute. Okay, the reason why this is happening again is remember we're in a for loop. So the moment it loops through the first one, immediately I give my answer, it loops through the first one. Remember, it loops through the first one. When doing the first loop, it speaks, right? The first riddle, and then it takes our answer, right? When it takes our answer, what happens? It printed the answer, which was what happened here. So when this is done, you could see there's nothing underneath my code again. There's nothing here. It goes back again to the next riddle, to the next index, which is index one. And then it speaks, calling the next riddle, and then checks our answer again, and then prints answer again, right? So if I should listen to the next riddle, let's go princess.
What word is spelled wrong in the dictionary?
It moves to the next riddle. So that's what is basically happening here.
A boat sinks, and every single person drowns.
But the thing
Who
now is,
survives?
the thing now is, Sonia is not able to know whether we answered our questions correctly. She doesn't know, right? She's just repeatedly looping through the list of riddles we gave to her and then reading it out to us, taking our answer, but she's not doing anything with that. So let's write a logic for Sonia. Oh, God, I'm getting exhausted. So let's write a logic for Sonia to check if the answers are correct. So at this point, I'll just get rid of answer. I'll come here and say if answer, yeah, which is what we get here, is equal to riddle. Remember, riddle, which is the 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 item that she just the item, the riddle she just spoke. We'll get the answer, the answer key. Yeah, for this now we're getting the answer. So riddle answer, which will give us teapot here. So we'll come here and say if this is equal to this, uh we want to now remember why we declared this. Self does reduce so correctly. We want to know how many questions you've gotten correctly. Sonia wants to know that. So Sonia would say, first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to say riddles. Remember, whenever it is correct, whenever the answer is equal to the answer inside of the riddle data, whenever it is correct, we're going to run, Sonia is going to run this and then say plus using the assignment operator was equal to 1. She's always going to add 1 to count how many riddles we get correctly. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to check, right? Mm, if that is not equal to... Okay, so the next thing we want to check is, I don't know if I should insert this now or maybe I should add it later on. I don't want it to be so confusing. I don't want it to be so confusing. Mm, okay, so however, it says Sonia dot speak, right? That is if we get this now, she has recorded the amount of videos we've gotten correctly, and then we'll say F and then correct. Remember we're passing the name of the user, and inside of the name we say proceeding to the next video, right? She's going to say this, proceeding to the next video. So what if um, what if our questions, our answers weren't correct? So how do we do this? We create an else statement, and we're going to pass in Sonia, sorry, Sonia, I didn't spell this correctly. Sonia dot speak F. Uh, we want Sonia to be able to tell us that our answer was incorrect. So we just say, so if the answer is equal to riddle, If this is correct, she's going to add record the amount of riddle we've gotten so far, and then she's going to say correct, and then name of the user. Then she's going to say proceeding to the next riddle. Else, she's going to tell me it's incorrect. All right, so let's run this and see for ourselves. I'll save this, quantify, I'll print this.
Hello, I'm Sonia, your virtual companion. Here is a list of what I could do. What's your name?
So my name is
Nice to
Precious.
meet you, Precious. What would you have me do?
So this time I'll use a different phrase. Let's say a riddle.
Here is a list of riddle. Please impress me by answering at least 4 riddles correctly. What word begins with a T, ends with a T, and has a T in it?
So let's say I get the first bit. I get it, right? This is correct.
Correct, Precious. Proceeding to the next riddle. Princess Mother has 3 children. Their names are Prince, Tom. What's the name of the third child?
So assuming I know the answer, let's say I pretended to not know the answer and I give it a wrong value, which is prince, right?
Incorrect, Precious. What word is spelled wrong in the dictionary?
And then she moves to the next uh, question. She moves to the next question. Yeah. So you can see now, she now she can detect when answers are right or wrong. So so yeah. So basically, I didn't like the way she sounded because she was supposed to tell me, I think we omitted something. She was supposed to say proceeding incorrect pressures proceeding to the next riddle. So I'm just going to copy this and then put this here because it makes more sense that way. Yeah, it makes more perfect sense that way. So I will get rid of this and then run this again. No modeling, sonia skills. What happened now? Okay, I ran the wrong. I was supposed to run Python. Sorry, app.py.
Hello, I'm Sonia, your virtual companion. Here is a list of what I could do. What's your name?
Okay, let me use Anderson this time. Use a lot of pressures.
Nice to meet you, Anderson. What would you have me do?
Um, tell tell me riddle.
Here is a list of riddle. Please impress me by answering at least 4 riddles correctly. What word begins with a T, ends with a T, and has a T in it?
Mm, let me pretend I don't know the answer. So
Incorrect, Anderson. Proceeding to the next riddle. Princess Mother has 3 children. Their names are Prince, Tom. What's the name of the third child?
then she provides me where I could enter an answer. I'll say princess,
Correct, Anderson. Proceeding to the next riddle. What word is spelled wrong in the dictionary?
and that is obviously called wrong.
Correct, Anderson. Proceeding to the next riddle. A boat sinks, and every single person drowns. Who survives?
Okay, let's say I don't know the answer. No person survived. No person survived. Survived. This is the spelling of survived. Survived. Yeah.
Incorrect, Anderson. Proceeding to the next riddle.
So I also feel that as
Kelly
well.
has 3 daughters, and each daughter has a brother. How many children does Kelly have?
And then we say four.
Correct, Anderson. Proceeding to the next riddle. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What are they?
Footsteps. That's to be the exact correct thing. No?
Correct, Anderson. Proceeding to the next riddle.
So you see that it ends. But something, if you notice something, something actually happened. Something actually happened. Even when this was the last riddle, she still said, proceeding to the next riddle. But it doesn't make sense. You've just exhausted the whole riddle. Immediately that list was exhausted, you're still telling me proceeding to the next riddle. It doesn't make sense. So we're going to write a logic that is going to stop her immediately. This is the last riddle. Immediately she says the last riddle, she's not going to tell us, proceeding to the next video. What she's going to tell us is, she's going to tell us, you did great. You've answered so amount of riddles correctly. So that's what we're going to do. So I think I'll just end this video here. It's getting too long, and then do that in the next video.